What up, players? It's WarbossTae up in this mug. Welcome to the fourth and final level of the WarbossTae 2015 May Painting Challenge, and this is the one that really has me excited this year. Okay, so say you make your commitment. Say you've been making videos every single day, answering the daily questions. The fourth level of involvement is going to be a lot of work, unfortunately, on your guys' end, because each project is individual. You know, if you've been looking at my projects, you've seen how diverse they are. There are so many different kinds of projects that join up, and if you are willing to take the time, the extra hour or 2 hours or however long you want to devote to it, this is really just based on how much time do you want to devote to this level of it. There is the creative and narrative section of my challenge. So remember last year and the years before how we've done oaths of moment? Every week you make an oath and you say, okay, on the first week of the month I'm going to base coat all of my, let's say, Death Core of Krieg. And the second week I'm going to base coat all of the heavy weapons and go back to the infantry from week 1 and then do the highlights and the washes. In week 3 I'm going to finish what I did in week 2 and build on to the next thing, yada yada yada. You've got 4 weeks in a month. And each week we made an oath of moment, and sometimes we were successful, sometimes we weren't. So the narrative element is, I want you to take your challenge and put it into a campaign, a battle, a dungeon crawl, a gang fight, whatever is applicable to your project. And then I want you to create a story around it. So let's say we're going back to my project, my Death Core of Krieg challenge from last year. Let's say that the guys that I was painting, everybody that I was painting, they were going to go and fight in, they were going to be the spearhead of an invasion to take back an Imperial hive planet, or hive city, rather, that had been corrupted by chaos. So there are rebel elements in the town that are fighting for the Emperor and stuff, but mostly the whole place has been wrecked. So let's say week 1, the first thing you would do, you would think, okay, so how is this going to apply to my project? Well, I want my Death Core of Krieg on the ground. They can't just be fighting up from the spaceships. They're not just going to bombard the place. So we got to get them into the spaceport. Heavy landing into the spaceport. Boom. If I succeed, my Death Core of Krieg, if I finish what I've set out to do, then they are successful in their objective. They took the spaceport. They're able to land the tanks and the vehicles and the heavy weapons and push into the city. If I didn't make it, let's say for whatever reason I did not finish my Oath of Moment for week 1, the spaceport was not taken. So how does that affect the rest of my challenge? It kind of motivates you to say, okay, I really got to come back and push to get the rest of this campaign. I want to succeed, right? I want to take this city back. So you have to make the parameters. Week 2, we're going to fight our way to the Imperial Guard outpost, and then we're going to set up a beachhead over here to go along with our beachhead over here, and then we're going to really have a strong way to attack. And if I don't get that, then boom, how does that affect the rest of the battle? We get stuck in the spaceport. Okay, how do my men deal with that? Number 3, week 3, we get into the Adeptus Arbitus compound, and we arm the local citizens who are willing to fight the Chaos Overlords, and week 4 we push into the Sanctum and we fly the Imperial flag. Everybody cheers, and then we all go off to the next battle. So it's a narrative thing. I mean, if you're doing Dungeons and Dragons or Infinity or something smaller, then you can come up with it however you want. But really, this is just a creative way to flex your muscles and be creative and add that element to your challenge.